Because if you don't, it gets all whomper-jawed, and that's neither here nor there. It wasn't red. Well, those clips make you feel like you're breaking something. It's coming soon. I apologize. I might have jumped the gun. Voila. Okay, it took me 30 minutes to get this bolt on the inside here. In there, you missed a lot of cussing. Yeah, honey, I'm the bogey biker. And you know I'm here to stay. Well, howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jack and I'm the Bogey Biker. So today I'm excited. If you watched a few weeks ago, I got hit in the shin with a baseball sized rock, and it's pretty much healed up, a little scab, and it still hurts above and below where it hit. It's kind of weird, but I'm basically healed up. But I ordered lower fairings from Advanblack, and you know, I gotta say, the customer service wasn't the greatest with my tour pack, but the color matching is awesome. It's perfect. And when I open these in the box, these things are packaged. They got individual foam compartments for each of them in a bag. I didn't bother with an unboxing. So yeah, I'm gonna put lower fairings on. So tour pack, lower fairings. I'm almost turning this into a Road Glide Limited. If only I would have had a Road Glide Limited before this. That's neither here nor there. It wasn't red. And my 2025 Road Glide is named Roja. My wife named my motorcycle. Always let your wife name your motorcycle. So I am going to attempt to put on the lower fairings. These to me look better than the Harley ones. You see they have this body line that's kind of similar to the body line in the tank and the bags. These are growing on me. Again, I'm doing this really more for function more than style, because we're riding to Sturgis in a few weeks, and I just don't want to get hit in the leg again. Again, we're on a motorcycle, stuff happens, but these, you can get these with speaker pods. I got with the compartment. You can always use more room for stuff. I carry a lot of stuff with camera equipment and things like that. So I'm going to attempt to install these. The great thing about the Advanblack ones is you don't have to change your front crash bar, the stock one that comes on there. So I'm going to attempt to install them without removing my highway pegs. Who knew before you started riding motorcycles that highway pegs were going to be the hardest thing to get in the right spot, but I finally got them in the right spot, paired with my Saddleman Road Sofa extended reach seat, my Thrashing Supply 9.5 risers with a high bend bar. Yeah, what we're going to do is you have to take off the outer part of the front fairing, and so let's get that off and get started. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Famous last words. So the first thing we're going to do is take off the Clockworks windshield. I believe you can do almost everything with a T25 Torx. So you got two here, two here. Hopefully I remember how all this goes back together. Let's set these over here. The windshield should just slide right off. Oop, lost a piece. Oh, and before I forget, don't let the hard days win shirts. I'm hoping this is coming out on Sunday. I'm hoping by then the link is available on my website. So go to bogeybiker.com. Click on the shop button at the top, and it should take you. I think we're going to have short sleeve and long sleeve black shirts, from I think small up to 4X now. Some of you were asking about that. And hats, black hats similar to this, black with the white BB on them. If it's not available yet on Sunday, in the meantime, you can email her directly at the email address I'll put right here and request your order, and she will handle it from there. Baby steps, but we're making progress. So now we got to take these two T25s here, two T25s here. Let's get those out. Actually, there's three. Okay? There's three, sorry. This is the handiest tool I got, I think. Also, Jeffrey Music, my brother who wrote the Bogey Biker song, the Rusty Bolt song, Don't Let the Hard Days Win, Tickfall River Blues. A lot of the music you hear on my channel is going to be playing at the Crawford Cone on July 19th, I believe. Entertainment starts around 7 p.m. If that's different by the time this airs, I will put that down here. But yeah, July 19th, Crawford, Texas, at the Crawford Cone. You've seen it on the channel before. So hopefully some of you can make it out. We've always had a good turnout from the YouTube folks. So now we got to get this. There's a plastic piece right here that has this air vent, and this air vent adjustable knob, you want to make sure it's in the middle because it's got to come out over that. I'm going to take my little pry tool, and hopefully, this always scares me. That is uncomfortable, but it came out. And this piece should lift right off. And it does. Now I believe we take these speaker pod covers out. So I'm going to take my same pry tool. I keep thinking this microphone's not on. You know, audio is the hardest thing to get right with these YouTube videos because I've noticed it sounds different on the TV versus the iPad versus my iPhone versus my computer. It's different on every one. So if you're watching on TV, you know, I can't test that until the video comes out, and it seems like it's not as good, but I don't know. Well, those clips make you feel like you're breaking something. That wasn't too bad. From here you got a 227 there. You just have to take the bottom one out here is 227, and the same thing on the other side. These are T25s on the bottom and T27s up here. So you got T27, T25, T27, T25, and you want to take the top ones off first and then stand here after when you're doing these so the fairing doesn't just fall on the floor. Aha. Voila. Okay, now there's a fairing support bracket here, and we've got to take it off and replace it with this fairing support bracket. The difference is it has these extensions for the lower fairings to attach to, and this is for a standard road glide. I understand it's different for a CVO and for a street glide, but that's it's one bolt here on this side, one bolt on that side, and which is a 7/16 and a 1/4 Allen for the middle. So let's get those off. Probably should have covered up my front fender, huh? There you go. I'm gonna have to do something on the Gremlin bell. Can't forget that. Not sure how much of this y'all can see, but there's 2 bolts here in the middle and 2 bolts here on either side of the fairing support bracket. The crash bar is going to fit in that little groove right there, and this is the plate that goes over it. They're both rubber coated, so the little notches that come this go down like that. See, it's got some little feet. That's what the crash bar, what it sits on. So I believe okay, let's get the other side on. One thing I forgot to mention is there's a big rubber washer that it's very unclear where it goes, but I think it goes, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what goes up against the lower fairing. It goes in, there's a big hole there, and I think there's going to be a washer on the back side. These are going into brass fittings, I guess, and I understand you don't use Loctite for that, hopefully not. All this is just loose right now. We're gonna put this strap underneath here. Flat part goes on top, I believe. It's a T25 Torx and a 10mm nut. I think I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. We'll do the other side. Okay, it took me 30 minutes to get this bolt on the inside here. In there, you missed a lot of cussing. Put this strap on this side, went ahead and tighten it down, and now we can tighten these, and we're going to do it in a crisscross formation, top right, bottom left kind of thing. Do not want to over tighten those. Now we got to tighten the bolt that goes, it ties the fairing to the lower fairing to the fairing support bracket, and that's a number 6 Allen. Now we need to tighten these, which is 7/16. Believe the top bolts on the fairing support bracket. Now the middle 2 bolts, and we're done. We've got to put everything back together. Okay, we got everything back on. I'm not sure if I captured that last part, but the key is, to me, is to do not come close to tightening anything down until you get it all on. And once you tighten the brackets at the bottom, the clamp, whatever you call those, tighten the middle 2 bolts of the fairing support bracket first before you tighten the bolts that go in to the lower fairings, and before you tighten the top bolts of the lower fairing support bracket. Because if you don't, it gets all womper-jawed and won't go back together. I got half of mine to put this lower fairing back, or put the fairing back on in the morning. Nah, let's do it. All right, there they are. And honestly, they look better on there than I really thought they were going to. They don't look terrible. So that's another install in the books. Again, check my website today. Go to shop at the top, and if it still says under construction, it's coming soon. I apologize. I might have jumped the gun on revealing the shirts, but we're working on it. Again, small company, working with a small company, but she really wants to do this. I really want to do it. She's working really hard, and it's going to look great. The shirts look great. So go bogeybiker.com. We should have small to 4X. I need to ask her about youth sizes also. But if it's not there, here's her email. You can email her directly, and she can ship them out to you. She's perfectly willing to do that. So, and July 19th, Crawford Cone, J. Jeffrey Music on YouTube. If you like the music on my channel, you're gonna like my brother singing. So hopefully you folks in the tri-state area, if that's such a thing around here, can maybe make it. All right, I'm gonna once again leave all my tools out, go to bed. Appreciate you watching. Don't let the hard days win. Yeah, honey,